Salute and thank you, NERDSoul. I saw that statement and I was like, I wonder who he's talking about, because when he's like, it still seems kind of vague. Because I mean, is he talking about fans? Is he talking about the exec class, like the David Zaslav folks, or is he talking about like other directors, like Jeff Johns? Well, I guess Jeff Johns isn't really a director, but you know what I mean, like the Jeff Johns, like the people that are kind of like running the DC initiatives, and Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon and stuff. I mean, he didn't really nail down exactly who he was talking about.
Here's the thing. He's not probably going to ever nail it down
because he ain't trying to lose no job.
Because when you want to really say parse it out, when they started, it wasn't Zaslav. Zaslav, I'm pretty sure.
I forgot. Zaslav didn't come until way later.
So Zaslav don't give a shit. Let's just assume he don't give a damn.
Zaslav don't seem to care about Warner Brothers.
I mean, it's really Zaslav is doing the job of Warner Brothers. So they was just cut slash and think they were gonna scoop back the profit instead of do it the artistic way, a combination of both. So it's really just WB all together. So WB / Zaslav. But far as everybody knows, CW is a cheap station. They only can put money into like the first few episodes or the big episodes, and then they run it for 24 damn episodes. So they're the last
because they want to run it like a network.
Well, yeah, network, and then to sell it for syndication. So they probably was, still trying to do that, the old timey situation. I mean, there'll be episodes where they just talking and they doing nothing.
Because I'm gonna keep it real. I'll say I'm more on his side than off, especially for the first, say, 3 seasons. Now, after the first 2 or 3 seasons for him and Flash, then I think CW was trying to do way too much for what they had. They were doing way too much for the money they had. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I grew up on dry Cheerios, pork and beans, saying sloppy joes. I get it. You got to make $1 stretch. You know what I'm saying? That king loaf, not that little fancy bread, that king loaf with like 200 slices for $2. I remember. But y'all was stretching the dollar.
They took the character, they had to fill it in with some Batman D-listers. They had to do a lot of stretching and moving around of the universe, which I don't really care, but you know how some DC fans who are comic book fans, it's not such and such, it's not blah blah blah.
I thought they did an extremely good job with a CW budget.
I mean, they did,
especially with the fight choreography.
Up until the Slade. Now, of course, it got wacky when it got to Mr. Terrific. Then it was just like, all right, cancel.
Yeah. Pretty much everything up until Slade, which I think was season 3, right? I can't remember. It's Slade, been so long.
It was pretty much all right. I pretty much can end it there because I don't know if I remember if Slade was a part of the reason of the island and the stuff. Then he wound up going back to the island, or he already took control of the island. It was just getting weird. It was like this mythical island is just doing too much. Yeah, it's just like
I think it was better when it was just a island that somebody he showed up and he got shipwrecked on, and that was it.
Yeah, and it became a monster making realm to the really? Underworld or something. I don't know. It became something otherworldly. The
I ain't going front. I checked out after either was it Slade or Ra's al Ghul. Either one, I checked out. I was like, all right, man, I ain't really watching this show.
Ra's was kind of about. I didn't even finish the Ra's al Ghul one hour, or kinda, but I was like, that's it. When I absolutely checked out when him and old girl hijacked Barry's wedding, I was like, I'm done on both. Like this is literally the moment they jumped the shark, because I don't know why.
And then with what was the show? The show with like the Atom and everybody on it. That show was just crazy from the jump. I guess that was going to be the show where they was just like, hey, we just going to be crazy. And so,
well, yeah,
I'm going to be honest, I didn't hate it all. And I also understood like, yo, this is CW. they can't do but so much. But I do think they were stretching a dollar more than I think they should have stretched the dollar.
It's
But
like
they did get a lot done. Like I ain't gonna front. It was a
he
huge deal.
should be proud of his work, but
Yeah,
it's just the work was not meant to last as long as it should have.
yeah,
I think he did good. I don't think he's the best acting talent, but I don't think he's trash. I think he's mad because he basically feel like he probably wasted his youth. I mean, let's just keep it real. You know, he is muscular, what they would
yeah.
consider a blonde, good looking, but he's starting, his hair is probably thinning. He ain't gonna be muscular forever unless
And
he
see,
got to do.
I would say, well, I guess because he probably feels like he wasted his youth because people don't look back on the
Nobody's.
Arrowverse fondly. But I would say, yo, man, look, I remember because I was there. Y'all can go back and pull. People were bugging out over it was Firestorm Flash and Arrow versus Reverse Flash. And that was, I ain't going front. For a CW budget, that
Like
joint
I
was
said,
fly. People was bugging out over that.
it
People was
did good.
loving that. But that was also like season 2 or something like that. Like after
Season
season 3 or so, that joint was like they was doing
season
too much.
one was excellent because it had the mystique of
Yep.
the island, and then he was hiding his identity. You know, because he was younger, so he was able to play like, "Oh, I'm a rich boy. I don't do nothing."
Hold up,
And
didn't
then
they try to give him
he
a
was.
daughter or something like that?
I think he had all of that. By the time he finished, he had a daughter. He had an
Yeah,
alternate. There was an
yeah.
alternate
But
version of
see,
him
and
that had
that's not really his
superpowers.
fault. That's like writing fault of them like not really knowing what they want to do, but they
I
still
think he
want ad
became
revenue for the show.
the anti-monitor or something by the end of it. I don't know.
Dang.
It went into space. It should have stopped. I
Yeah.
mean, then they had old boy from Coach Carter was on there as Wild Dog. Or, I don't know, some whack character
Oh
who
yeah.
he
Wasn't
did
he on
okay with it,
yeah. Oh
but
man. It,
but
but see, the thing is, that's not his fault. That's like writing stuff. So I can kind
then
of
Diggle
understand if
was
you to start a show, you come in read a script, you like, man, this joint ain't good,
they
man.
wrote
But you
Diggle
kind of
out
still
of
got to
it.
do it.
Diggle got married to the white girl, had a baby, and he was gone. And it worked when it was him, Diggle, and it was kind of like villain of the week, the mystery, you know, and you show they will show the story of the island and how he, you know, building up to how he got off of it. The island was just as important story as the main because it's like
Yeah.
he's going through PTSD. So I mean, I can't really knock him. Like I like Stephen Amell. Like his
Yeah,
new show,
I think he came through, and
honestly,
I still stand by the first, say three or
I
so seasons. Like for
I
Flash and Arrow, the first 2 to 3 seasons were fresh.
this
And if you look
this
at, you talk about 48 episodes. Well, I mean, if you take both shows, that's 80, no, 96 or so episodes, whatever. I can't do the quick math, but anyway, like that's almost 100 episodes together of stuff that I
I
like. I gotta give them their
am
props.
trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because I will say this. I'm asking all my friends, if you got Netflix, click on his show Heels. It deserves a season 3. Give it a watch. Let it hit the metrics of Netflix. I'm begging people. I got into that show. Stars messed. This man might have bad luck. Stars absolutely effed over them. Ended
I
the
still don't
series.
know who is funding Stars. How are they still
I
getting
don't.
stuff done?
I don't care. Nothing. I'm not watching Stars ever again. I got sucked into a good show that I like, and they ended it on a cliffhanger. Like,
It's like just give them a season to resolve it, y'all.
bro, they could have had a movie, but Stars like, nope. I guess they're running out of money. They don't care. Netflix bought it, so it's like the talks are that it's rated really good. This is actually the best thing that can happen to it, like Warrior. But I don't know if they bought Warrior or if they just got the license to show it. I think they actually own because
Warrior
this is
top notch.
because this is Stars. I think Stars is like you can have it. Give me the money.
Stars like get it out of the
Get
way.
it out of here. So I think Netflix can now actually commission it to get a season 3, which because they now have the WWE for Monday Night Raw starting this year or next year, there's talks that okay, let's make the WWE and all that work together with this, or maybe they can pick it up because WWE got studios and connects. There's meat on the bone for this show. The actors are still he's still young enough. even though he plays the older brother now, it would be a waste to waste their prime because they're literally, I think, doing the stunts. They had to get in wrestler shape. They're jumping over the ring and doing that stuff. Not maybe all of it, but they're doing enough.
But they still have to be in an athletic shape to do that stuff.
They are in a very athletic shape. Even the big dude, the big wrestler, he got to run around, do the stuff, and it's with good acting chops. Like the girl who plays one of the wrestlers, excellent. Even had Andy from what's that HBO show? True Blood, the crazy sheriff running around. He play an old washed up wrestler, and he kills it. Like he has to do the stuff too. So he deserves a seat. That show deserves a season 3. So I won't trash Steven too much, but at the end of the day, this is how I believe it's gonna get looked at. It's CW. You weren't good enough to be DC is how people gonna generally look at it. Nobody really cares.
Yeah, because people have recency bias. So they're gonna be like, oh, it was whack, it was trash. I'm gonna be like, look, I remember being on the internet, on Facebook, on Twitter and stuff at the time when those shows were coming out. The first 2 to 3 seasons, people was enjoying it. People was loving it. All right. It didn't get renewed because wasn't nobody watching it. Now I ain't gonna front. After like the 3rd season, the writing, but that wasn't the actors' fault. The writing, they was the ones that decided they wanted to give him a kid, and then Iris was like, didn't Iris get the speed force, and then everybody was fast? Like it was just like, look, the Savitar and stuff, like, oh, like look, it kind of got crazy.
I mean, but I'm not even mad at Iris because by the time.
The first 2 to 3 seasons, especially for CW budget, I would consider extremely solid. Especially for the money, you know they ain't getting like $5 million an episode or something. They ain't getting that Disney Plus budget.
They made the flat. They not even please. They don't even get no Disney. That's actually would be more.
They ain't even getting Disney Kids budget.
Disney Plus is actually a whole movie budget for a lot. That's why they had to cut back. They were spending movie money on them show. Like Disney Plus money is good money. Like
I ain't gonna front. Even like the stuff they did on Acolyte, I was like, bruh, like y'all say y'all spending all this money, and I mean I feel you, but I don't really feel the money on. I don't feel like I'm seeing the money on the screen though.
Here's the thing, VHX man, they're going up. They burnt. That's just them special effects. Whatever they got burning a hole through the budget because they don't have people, and they got to work overtime, and they crunching them people. Or they trying to crunch overseas, they need to figure it out and get maybe more tactile. So I don't know. But then again, how many tactile sets can you build? Because that ain't cheap either.
True.
So
yeah, because they're shooting a lot of stuff in the volume now, where it's like, you know, you kind of like make the foreground and then the background is on the screen. And that joint looked incredible. I ain't going front. But I'll just say this because I know we gotta get on some real stuff. But you know what? I'll use this. I'll say, look, Stephen Amell. Look, matter of fact, Coop, what's your final thoughts on this?
I'm just gonna say, I wasn't prepared for this to be recorded, so hopefully
me neither. I was just like, this is
at the same time. We got it. I'll just say this, Stephen Amell. You know what, man? If you hear this, focus your energy on heels, man. Get with the WWE. Tell Netflix, hey, get that synergy working. Don't worry about DC. Don't bring up, for the love of God, don't bring up the Snyder cut, bro. Don't put that curse on you from these NERDSoul fans and the Snyder Bros. You seem like a generally okay guy. Don't do it. Don't, because
the Snyder Bros is gonna be mad at you. They be worshiping that dude.
These people are the same people who don't. All of a sudden. Okay, the Batman, and y'all, Mark gives me a hard time. He gonna probably pop up some type of way, but but I'm just saying, like, I absolutely love the Batman. That was in that sea of DC slop that eventually has been boiled over to nothing. Shout out to Jason. I'm not being biased on this. A lot of these movies were trash. I'm sorry, but the Batman stood out, and I loved it. Now all of a sudden, the narrative, look. I wasn't no big fan of Robert Pattinson. I think he did good. I think Batman should be, if it's grounded, a creepy, weird guy who don't know how to socialize if he's just starting out.
Yeah.
People want to conflate what I call detective Batman and versus superhero Batman. This Batman is not as old as the Ben Affleck Batman. I think that was a whack version of Batman, to be honest with you, because he was too overpowered. Like he must have superpowers. The way he was running around. And then they just pretty much, he didn't even try to hide his identity. Like that Batman, like what's the point of even that Batman having a secret identity? Let's just be honest.
Healthy.
The way he was coming with it. So I just feel like Stephen Amell, I'm with you. Kills 3 people. Whoever listen, go to Netflix. If you grew up with wrestling in the 80s, and if there's a part of you that like a smidge of it, please give it a watch. Even if you don't watch all of it, just let it play. Let the numbers do the job. That's how much I like that show. And I would like to see him continue with it. He does not deserve what he got from Stars. But unfortunately, he won't be overly remembered well with this new the people who hate the Batman and now they hate the Penguin before it even coming out. It's called the Penguin, folks. Guess, you know what? And look, I'm going to end on this note. You know what you're not getting on TV? And this has been discussed before. Thus, you didn't see him in Peacemaker. You're never going to see live action Batman on TV no time soon in the full cape and cowl. You paying premium for that, buddy. So I don't know what y'all thinking.
You paying premium for that?
Bruh, they said it. DC themselves pretty much said it. That's why they said when the Justice League showed up, you got everybody but Batman. Man. And like that's kind of a written, that's an understated rule that if Batman got something coming out for movies, you will not see him on TV in the cape and cowl unless it's animation. That's the only way he gets a premium. You'll see Superman. Now they did do Superman, right? You had a little silhouette of Superman, I think. So they couldn't, they just animated him cheesily. And you got the artist formerly known as whatever who played the Flash and Jason Momoa. They're probably a little more affordable to get. And their rules is like, all right, we got to promote them. So Stephen Amell, look forward. Don't look to this past. Don't look to this sordid past. It's salted earth, man.
I'll say this, like Stephen Amell. Honestly, I don't know what you went through. Maybe in the offices of DC or the fans or whatever. But I'll say this: thank you. Because on the real, these people be trying to front on you. The first, say the third season is where Roz comes in. So I'll say the first 3 seasons, because especially I remember those sword fights between you and Roz in season 3 were solid. So first 3 seasons was solid. People dug it. I remember seeing people on Twitter liking it. Now they probably trying to act like they ain't like it back in the day. But
it was me. I was there. I liked it.
Yes. Okay. So especially, like I
said,
I told
you Mark was going to jump in with the dynamic entry.
Was it Fire when it was Firestorm, Arrow, and the Flash versus the Reverse Flash? That was crazy for a CW budget. So that was good. Honestly, also another mention, Supergirl, the first season was good. After that,
I'm gonna be honest, y'all. But be honest, I didn't watch not one episode of Supergirl. The first season was about the time I didn't care at all.
The first season was actually worth watching. After that, I watched
the entire first season. I didn't like Melissa Benoist as Supergirl. I liked everybody else though, and I liked John Jones. I liked the Martian Manhunter. She was the weak link for me.
For me, the way they made her so self-righteous, starting in the second season, and then they also focused on her sister. I'm like, bro, I'm here to see Supergirl punch strong people. I don't care about her.
With you. Her best acting is when she played a Nazi in that alternate universe, and I'm just like,
oh damn, she was a little too good at that.
Played a Nazi Supergirl. Otherwise, she sounds like her name sounds like a wet blanket, and she feels like a wet blanket. Just dang.
Also, shouts to the young brother that plays Barry. He from Virginia anyway, so much love to him. And you know what, Felicity and Iris, y'all cool too. And also, what's the brother? The young man that was working in the Flash. The little Flash command center that everybody had a key to, apparently.
Vibe.
Oh yeah, man, Vibe. What's his name though? Because Vibe, he was
Cisco.
Cisco. Yeah, Cisco. Shout out to Cisco. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Cisco at, man?
Thong. But anyway,
I'll tell you what. One thing I liked about Cisco, because Cisco had the long hair, he looked dirty. But I remember one episode, somebody tried to run up on him, like, "Oh, you think I ain't have hands, huh?"
Yeah, he did. He did display a little hands real quick.
Then when like his little powers developed, he wasn't nobody to play with. Honestly, he's one of them cats, man. When they created the character, he was a cool, like, disco-esque. Like, that's what they were dipping into when they made the character originally, like a Hispanic disco dude. Like, that was a little weird because the time was off. But he ended up becoming, like, very, very powerful because with his powers, like, that caused vibration, he was able to, like, open
because couldn't he open portals or something like that?
Yep.
But anyway, I'll say this: first 2 or 3 seasons, Arrowverse was solid, and people might try to front on it, but look, I was there. It was solid, especially for CW money, because I remember watching them fights and being like, "Yo, they doing a lot for this, little dollar store budget."
I'll be honest, like I think I wasn't a fan of all the costumes, but I definitely liked the Flash. I thought they had Grant Gustin outfitted. I like Black Lightning's out. They outfitted him like they made. So they did some really dope stuff in the Arrowverse, but they also, man,
three seasons.
It started taking a turn, and it just
it's almost like they was just like, look, we'll just write whatever. But
this is what it is. You know what it is? I'm gonna say this, and then I know we got to get started with animation. Once they hit that syndication number, because I think they were selling it to like other stations, like because even I think when you're like, say, if it pops up on TNT, which their shows did, or Netflix, they need a certain amount of hours and blah blah blah. So it's like even an internal budget, you're selling to yourself. I know it's crazy. I think that's how it works, but like it's always in accounting, as they teach you, there's a cost for everything. So they want to, like, hey, we got to account for these hours, blah blah blah. Oh, bring all that stuff over to TNT. It actually looked better on TNT than it did on CW for some reason.
It's cold.
I was like, well, Arrow looked really good on TNT. Why does it not look like that on CW? But it'd be the same episode.
CW got that bad. They got that bad reception. They got that bad distribution. They be trying to send out
really what it is, Mike.
Satellite
you saying it and you joking, but yeah,
I really thought it felt like a TNT show. I'm like, wait, why? It's the same show. I watched this episode.
CW trying to send that joint out on like that 480p. See, TNT was sending out full HD.
Right. So that tells you right there. Rest in peace to the CW, because they don't really exist anymore. They
not in the way it used to.
It's slowly dying. They eventually want to get rid of all shows somewhat. But yeah, the DC universe is done for CW.
Yeah, rest in peace, y'all. But we love Stephen Amell. We love man. Much love.
Go
to y'all.
Watch Heels. Go watch Heels, please.
All right, cool. Let's go to
save that man career.